Hey everybody, it's Rachel with Rachel Q Stitches and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023, and this is FlossTube number 91. Thank you so much for stopping by. I feel like I'm a little bit out of it, even though I think I made a video last week. I just feel like, ooh, but everybody's gone. They're back at work, they're back at school, and I'm back in my routine. So it has been quite the whirlwind the past 2 weeks. We've had lots of fun. I'll talk about all of that at the end of the video. But anyway, I'm back in a routine. And if you know me, you know I like a routine. So anyway, here we are. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. This is a channel mostly about cross stitch. Every now and then I might talk about quilting or some other kind of stitchy goodness that I do, but for the most part I talk about cross stitch. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for stopping by, for coming back, for hitting play, and for watching me week to week. It really means a lot to me, and I really appreciate each of you. Wow, I've had an uptick in subscribers this week. So thanks to all my new subscribers. Thank y'all so much for subscribing, for watching. I know I did a whip parade. If you've not watched that, go back and watch my whip parade. I'm talking about all the whips that that I've brought into this year. Now that we're in the new year, all the whips that I've brought in and my plans and what I plan on doing. Hopefully this coming year, and I'll plan on working all that out. I'll kind of touch on that here and there, you know, throughout the year if I change it or whatnot, because, you know, plans do change. But anyway, so thanks to all the new subscribers. Welcome to my channel. It is good to have you here. I'm normally not this excited. But like I said, everybody's back at work. So I am like, whoo, the house is empty. Love it. Anyway, so go back, watch my whip parade. If you've not watched it, I do have I do have a finish that I show in my whip parade for those of you that have been watching me. I finished my Jeanette Douglas bouquets, and I do preview that on last week's whip parade. So anyway, I have some new starts that I only stitched on 3 things this week. And so, like I said, with the holidays and people home and all that kind of stuff, for those of you that don't know, my husband is a teacher, and so he's been home for 2 weeks, and so my days are just kind of like up in the air when he's home. You know, what are we going to do? That kind of thing. So, and especially around Christmas and Thanksgiving breaks, it's really, you know, holidays, jam-packed, throwing everything in, and so I don't get a whole lot of stitching done. So hopefully that changes this week with everybody gone. So anyway, so I got 2 new starts and then my 25/7 piece that I work on. So here it is. The first new start is the Cross Stitch Studios Mystery Stitch Along. It's not too late to join in. It is a mystery. The theme is in the garden, and page 1 was released on Christmas Day, but I didn't get to it until this week. So this is, I have an idea of what the style is just because of what the Cross Stitch Studio does and because of the first part that was released. So anyway, so this is all I've gotten done. I got 406 stitches done on this thing. Not quite, you know, it's a page released at a time, so it'll come down to about right here, I believe. So this is it right here. Lots of golds, lots of golds. I do plan on working on this daily. So I know I have my 25/7 piece, but in order to get this done in the month it's released, which, like I said, December, we got some extra days in there. In order to get it done in the month that it's released, I would have to do 200 and something stitches a day. If that's all I was stitching, I could get it done, no problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do either a thread a day or 30 minutes a day. I know I have my 25/7 piece, but I think I can throw in a 30-minute piece and still get other stuff done too. I do, you know, especially on weekdays when I get a lot of stitching done. So that's all I got done on it right there. 406 stitches. I do use Pattern Keeper for these, so I'll give you my stitch counts for these. And full coverage, I do monitor my stitching by stitch count. The others, I do it by hours or minutes. So that is that right there. And my second start is I am doing this, and I'm going to try to remember everybody. And for those that have YouTube channels, I will link you down below. And if you don't, I will put them on Instagram if they don't. So I am doing this with Angie Slowly Crafts. I remembered her name this time. Sorry, Angie. Amanda in Stitches, Adventures in Stitching, Nikki Stitchy, and Mama Carmen. These are the people that I know that are stitching it. And so and I'm talking about God Shed His Grace. This is it right here. Now, the other ladies are doing the chart by Artisy. I am doing mine by the Cross Stitch Studio. This was gifted to me. And so I just went ahead and I'm using it. It's the cropped version. There in the full version, there is a barn and some other things right there. I just chose this one when it was a gift certificate that was gifted to me. I just chose this one because I love this part of the scene. And so and it's smaller. Yay. They're all doing up here, which is a ton of gray clouds, and I'm like, I'm seeing green. So this is what I'm doing. This is God Shed His Grace. So if you want to join us, the hashtag is God's Grace Sundays. Most of the ladies are working on this on Sundays. I started mine New Year's Eve night because Sundays are really, really busy for us. But my husband and I do sit down, although I think we only have 3 episodes left, on Sundays and watch The Chosen. And so that's when I did this, and Saturday night while he watched football. So anyway, so I will probably still work on these on Sundays, and then any other day that I might feel so led to do so. Anyway, so for this one, I got 545 stitches done, and this is what I got done. And I did start in the upper left-hand corner, which is not normal for me. Normally I start lower right, but I went ahead and started upper left. Full coverage, I find that it's not a problem to start because of the way I stitch. I stitch right to left. I know that's weird. I can't stitch left to right. It's odd, but anyway, I stitch right to left if I do the sewing method. But for stuff like this, it's you can't do the sewing. You can't. There's so much confetti and, you know, stray stitches and whatnot. So I'm finding that going ahead and doing it in the upper left, starting upper left, is not a problem for me. These are waist knots for me that I'll end up cutting off once I feel like they have enough stitching on top of them. I don't park. I just stitch how I want, when I want. I pick a color and I do everything that I can see on within reason. And I'm finding this 3x3 grid is kind of my sweet spot. Going beyond anything of that is a little difficult for me. So I'm finding that's kind of a sweet spot for me, is the 3x3, which I guess would be, what, 900 stitches. So I work in that little area. I'll kind of go over, you know, like you can see, but so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just pick out some more colors and fill in this area and continue working on it on Sundays. So this is God Shed His Grace, the cropped version by the Cross Stitch Studio. This is original artwork by, and I don't have it. I'll find out next week and let you guys know. But I love this picture. Love it, love it. And then lastly is my 25/7 piece, which is Amid Amish Life. And this is it right here. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing all 3 panels as one panel. And so I did not meet my goal of finishing this whole barn area. No, in December. That was a lofty goal. So I'm just working on this area right here and moving my way across. And so doing my 25 minutes a day. I'm still enjoying this. I wake up, I do my devotions, I drink my morning shake, and then I go on and I stitch on this. So it's kind of a routine that I've got myself in, and I really, really enjoy it. And I'm enjoying watching the picture come alive. So that is A Mid-Amish Life. This was originally in Cross Stitch and Country Crafts May, June, July, August, September, October issues of 1986. So, and that's it. That's my stitching for the week. That's all I got done. So anyway, that is it. My plans for this week is I am doing the Magazine Monthly Challenge. This is the January theme and acrostic. And so you can see right here, I did God Shed His Grace, and I did meet that goal, 500 stitches. And then the In the Garden by the Cross Stitch Studio, I did say 500 stitches. I'm going to do that for this month, but I think from now on, this is just going to be a daily stitch for me, for the most part. I'm going to try 5 days a week. Because on the weekends, some days all I manage is my 25/7. Just depends on the weekend. Anyway, and then I have Blue Moon Angel, my Queen Elizabeth, and my Joyeux Noel and Gathering Honey. So this week I am going to choose one of these. My goal for this year is to choose one piece from each theme that I have. And my themes are, hold on, let me go back to my, here we go. Full Coverage, Fancy, Samplers, and Other. So these are my themes. These are my whips. So my goal is to choose one from each theme. So right now my Full Coverage is not going to be either God Shed His Grace or In the Garden, because those are new starts. So I'm either going to choose City of Romance, Ironwork Gate, something like that, and give it at least 2 hours. 2 hours. Same with my Fancy, whether it's something that includes fancy stitches or glittery beady stuff. I'll give those 2 hours. And then Samplers or Other, I'll give 2 hours. And that's a week. I'll choose that. So that gives me 6 hours of stitching. That doesn't include my dailies and my weekly challenges. So 6 hours of stitching a week is not bad. I can do that. I can manage an hour a day. No problem. So that's kind of my goal. It's just to choose something from there on the acrostic and then give myself 2 hours to stitch on it. Hopefully I'll get some finishes this year. I do have 2 things that I want to finish. City of Romance and Christmas Garden. Christmas Garden's doable. City of Romance, oof, yeah. That we'll see. So anyway, so those are my plans for this week. So I'll choose one of these fancy ladies that I have on here and stitch those for a couple of hours. I'll choose another Full Coverage-esque or scenic picture and stitch on that for 2 hours. So we'll see how that works out. Like I said, it's not set in stone. I'm not forcing myself to do all this. It's just kind of a way that I'm helping myself to plan what it is that I want to stitch. So there you have it. Okay, that is it. And now the winners from last week. Hold on. Okay, now for the giveaways. Sorry, I forgot to grab them. Okay, so these are the giveaways from video number 89. So if you watched 89, you do know that it has some giveaways. You have 2 weeks. I'll announce it this week. I'll remind you next week. And if I don't hear from you by the time I film in 2 weeks, by the time I film 93, then I'm going to draw again. So I do have my email address down below. You can contact me there, or if you're on Instagram, you can contact me on Instagram with your mailing address. Remember, you have to be 18 to legally give me your address. So anyway, I think most of these people are at least 18. So anyhow, so number 1 was Country Cottage Needleworks July Cottage. I did stitch this one when I first got back to cross stitch. And when you email me, let me know which one you won. I have it written down, but just as a confirmation. Okay, that was won by Kara Dayhoff, number 1. Okay. Number 2 was Blackbird Designs Remember Me. And I did stitch this one. It's for my remembrance wall that I need to get done. And the winner of that is Skein or Skeen and Spool, number 2. And number 3 was Cherish. I stitched this in honor of my mom. And the winner of that was Jennifer Barnes. I'm going to say it's Barnes. Barnes. All right. So those are the winners of the drawing from 2 weeks ago. And like I said, contact me and I will get these out in the mail. Nobody's home, so I shouldn't have any problems getting these out in the mail. So y'all do that. And that's all I have for stitching. So if you want to hang out for personal stuff, that is coming up now. If not, I'll see you guys next week. Okay, personal stuff. Everybody's gone. No, seriously though. My husband's back in school. He went back today. Yesterday was an in-service, but it was also bowl games. So he took a personal day and watched his bowl games. So he's got that, but he was supposed to take Friday off because Saturday is our anniversary. And he got nominated. Well, he was Teacher of the Year for his school. And then he just received word that he is 3rd in his category, which is high school teacher. He top 3 of the school district. So they want to interview him Friday. So he's not taking off Friday for our anniversary. So yay for that. So y'all think about it. Say a prayer for him Friday. He is going to need it. Like I said, it's an interview. It's a Zoom interview, which he's fine with. But, you know, he's a little, not nervous, just a little edgy about it, you know, just not sure how it's going to happen. So y'all think about him. Y'all pray for him. He is going to need it. Also, my mother-in-law is not well. She got sick. Christmas came down with COVID. We were all there Christmas Eve. Yay. And she came down with COVID, and then she started having stomach pains and went to the emergency room, and her gallbladder is inflamed, and they had to sedate her, give her tube. She gets really nervous. She gets really anxious. So when things like this start happening, she stops eating. She starts self-medicating. She starts hyperventilating. So they sedated her. But my brother-in-law, who's the only one who can go see her because he was there when he brought her in, he said that she's doing better. Last we heard, yesterday morning, she was doing better. Her oxygen level was increasing. Her heart was starting to settle down. She gets AFib. I mean, she's almost 80, you know. I mean, she's except for lung cancer, she's in fairly decent health. But at the same time, you know, things are starting to age. And so, so she's not doing too well. So if y'all think about it, keep her in your prayers. And so, anyway, so those are our family updates. I had dinner with the kids last night. My middle son wasn't able, my middle child, my youngest son, wasn't able to make it. And, but my bookends were here. And so that was fun seeing them together. And, anyway, so that's pretty much it. Christmas is over. We had a great Christmas with the family, with my dad, and, you know, my in-laws, even though my mother-in-law ended up with COVID afterwards. I had a cold afterwards, but I didn't get COVID, so I'm fine. Yeah, so yeah. Anyway, the whole family was like, but we're glad we got to go and be with her for Christmas Eve, so. Anyway, so that is all I have family-wise, stitching-wise, news-wise, all that kind of stuff. No purchases. I did get some new gifts, you know, for Christmas and whatnot, but that's pretty much it. I can get back to my stitching. I can get back to my routine and hopefully get back to a normal life until the next break, which is spring break. But this weekend, my husband and I will be going to do something for our anniversary, so I'm not quite sure what and when and where, but anyway, won't get much stitching done. But we have been married almost 34 years. It'll be 34 years this Saturday. So anyway, that's all I have, and thank y'all so much for coming and joining with me. I will see you guys next week, Lord willing. Happy stitching. Bye-bye.